Now, many years ago, Square Enix released a groundbreaking title that went on to become one of the most beloved games in PlayStation and video game history. Tonight, I am proud to announce that by popular demand, we have a very special treat for everyone.
4 years ago, during Sony's 2015 E3 conference, we got confirmation of the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Even though I didn't play the original before, I was excited to see it remade after continuously hearing that 7 was the best Final Fantasy game. The next time we would see any type of footage would have been PSX 2015. After this, I decided to pick up the original game on the PSN store. I had a fun time with it. The music, the atmosphere, the story, it was all so well done. I grew attached to these characters and the world it was set in. I started to watch the film Advent Children repeatedly. I don't know why, but it was very entertaining. I loved how layered the story in Final Fantasy VII was, and I was looking forward to how this could be reimagined in the remake. Since PSX of 2015, we hadn't seen any more footage concerning the game. In 2017, it was revealed that Square Enix shifted development in-house rather than sourcing it to CyberConnect 2. This worried a lot of fans, because it was a highly anticipated remake which was sourced out to another studio. CyberConnect 2 were mostly known for games such as the Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm games. It was worrying for fans, as it was believed that CyberConnect 2 did not have the experience nor ability to handle a game of a magnitude of the FF7 remake. On the 9th of May of 2019, 4 years after we saw any FF7 remake footage, Sony hosted another State of Play livestream. There were rumours floating around that FF7 remake would show up, with Shinji Hashimoto's suspicious tweets accentuating those rumours. When the day came, I tuned into the livestream, hoping to see anything to do with FF7 remake. And once it played the cursor sound at the beginning, my jaw dropped and it soon turned into a fat grin. I was eagerly waiting for anything FF7 remake to be shown. We were reaching the end of the livestream, and then they decided to play the new teaser for the remake. When the glowing turquoise text appeared, I had the biggest grin on my face. The game looked amazing, miles better than anything we'd seen previously. I could not believe what we were seeing, and I was once again hopeful for the game to exceed our expectations. I would start watching other people's reactions to the teaser, and I still watch those reactions today. Words can't describe how excited I am about this game. So, without rambling on any further, here's why I'm excited for the FF7 remake.
We wanted to give you a new look at a long-awaited game.
Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god.
Obviously, I think one of the most exciting things about the remake are the graphics. Compared to our first glimpse of the remake in 2015, the graphics have had a significant overhaul and look way better. It's also really interesting to see how scenes compare to the original. The footage we saw at E3 has shown us some familiar scenes, which we can draw comparisons to, making it even more exciting to compare other iconic scenes of the game. As well as familiar scenes, we've also got a look at new scenes in the game. The first game of this series will be entirely focused on Midgar, which took up to 5 hours in the original, on average. I'm really intrigued to see how the game will expand on Midgar, how they'll flesh out the city and the characters we meet. Given how expanded Midgar will be in the remake, it raises questions such as, will it be open world? What will be added? Are there going to be in-depth side quests? Personally, I believe Midgar will be open world, where you can explore the different sectors such as the slums and the different reactors. On one hand, I feel like we'll be confined to parts of Midgar and not the entire city. However, there is a big possibility of the whole of Midgar being explorable, since the whole game takes place in it, especially with the fact that it's a game that takes up space on 2 Blu-ray discs. There's a lot of potential for the story. With the expansion of Midgar, we can expect characters to be given greater depth. If you're familiar with Cloud, you know that he has his fair share of problems. He often has flashback episodes or mental breakdowns, which will most likely be explored greatly in the remake. We've already caught a glimpse of it in the E3 trailer, which hints at subtleties in his flashbacks that hint towards his mysterious past. I'm very excited to see how they manage the personal story of Cloud, exploring his struggles and backstory.
Alright everyone, let's mosey.
Another aspect I'm very much looking forward to is the combat system. It's been confirmed that the lead battle planner for Kingdom Hearts 2 which is my favourite Kingdom Hearts game in that franchise, is working on the remake. This is incredibly exciting because Kingdom Hearts 2 had the best combat in the series, in my opinion. The game had a great risk and reward system that gave players an opportunity to experiment with gameplay, like using different drive forms during combat. I hope that the combat in FF7 Remake is just as rewarding and fun as it was in KH2. Especially with changes to the materia and summer systems, it's going to be very interesting to see what's changed, what's added, and what's evolved. We already know that there's been some changes to the materia because it's not a traditional turn-based game anymore. So I'm very intrigued with how they manage the materia system in relation to the action RPG route the game is taking. There's also the soundtrack, which I am very much a fan of. The original FF7 had an amazing soundtrack, from the bombing mission theme to the battle music. We've heard snippets of the new soundtrack in recent trailers at E3, and it sounds incredible. The remake will be bringing back Nobuo Uematsu. I don't know how to say his name, but he was the original composer of FF7, and they're still a joy to listen to. The soundtrack of FF7 is incredibly beautiful. It adds to the cinematic feel of the game and accentuates many of the impactful scenes. With that being said, I'm very much looking forward to hearing the new renditions of my favourite tracks in the game. There's also a new cast of voice actors for the game. This has caused some of the fan base to be up in arms because they've grown used to some of the old voice actors. However, I don't think this is something to be worried about. To me, it seems like Square Enix really want to do right by the fans. This means hiring actors that can portray the characters in a way that's faithful to their personality and characteristics. The new cast seem more than capable as seen in the trailers and gameplay footage. For instance, we can see Cloud being snarky towards Barrett during the boss demo at E3. Personally, I've never seen Cloud portrayed like that before with voice acting. The only time I've seen Cloud portrayed like that is in the original game, and that didn't have any voice acting. I'm really glad that Cloud is getting the portrayal he deserves, that he has some character this time round, rather than seem miserable and mopey all the time. I cannot wait to see how other characters might be portrayed, and I'm really looking forward to it. I cannot wait to see more of this game, although I don't need to see more. This might be my most anticipated game of all time, so fingers crossed Square Enix does right by the fans. And so far, I see no reason to doubt them.